All right, and we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our latest Lodgify webinar. My name is Mikkel Radich, and I'm a content marketing specialist here at Lodgify. And I want to start off by saying a very big thank you to everyone for joining. Super excited to have you all here to talk about website conversion issues and how to fix them. And to teach us how to do that, we have with us here today Mark Simpson, the founder of Boostly. Thanks for being here, Mark. You want to give yourself an introduction?
Yeah, no, thank you very much for having me. I'm really excited for this. So my name is Mark Simpson. I've been helping hosts now for nearly 10 years. I was one of these rare breeds that was born into the world of hospitality and short-term rentals. And we're chatting off air, did a little bit of traveling around America, coaching soccer, but came back into it in 2011. We exited the family business in 2021. And yeah, now my goal is to help everybody get more bookings. And the website is one of the main parts of it. I reached out to Lodgify and I said I think it'd be a cool webinar to do for the crowd, and here we are. And it's great to see so many people interested in it, so many people registered in it, and I'm excited for the next hour.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm super excited too. I've seen the presentation, guys. It's super helpful, and I can't wait to see some of these live audits. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I will let you get started momentarily, Mark, but just a couple things from me before we dive in. Starting with some housekeeping items. Just so you know, everyone in the chat is muted, so we can't hear you. No calling out your questions. We can see the chat though, so you can go ahead and put any questions or comments in the chat on the right side of the screen, as well as your website URLs if you're interested in a live audit. Now, if you can't hear us, that is an issue. A couple solutions. If you see a blue button on your screen, like the one pictured there on my slide that says tap to unmute sound, if you see that, your sound is muted, so go ahead and give that a tap. Also try turning up your audio. Sometimes that's the issue. And if all else fails, just refresh the page. That'll often do it. And then because we get this question quite a lot, yes, the webinar is being recorded. So if you're registered for the webinar, you'll automatically get an email tomorrow with a link to the recording on YouTube. Okay, so what can you expect from the webinar? I'm going to start with a brief intro to Lodgify, then I'll turn it over to Mark for his presentation and some live audits. And then we'll try and save the last 5-10 minutes for a Q&A session in case anyone has questions. Okay, what is Lodgify? I know we've got a lot of Lodgify customers here in the audience, so Lodgify veterans, just bear with me. But for anyone who's new to us, we are a vacation rental management software that helps you manage, automate, and grow your short-term rentals. And our goal is really to help you maximize the potential of your business while also taking full control of it. Now, how do we do that? You could say that we offer a comprehensive Lodgify ecosystem. The technical industry term for this is property management system or property management software. There's a lot of features involved. You can see there's a lot going on here. I'm not going to get too granular just because I want to leave as much time for the live audits as possible. But the three main things you should know about Lodgify is that we have a lot of features that help you automate your business. So things like task management, guest management, reporting. We also offer a channel manager that helps you sync your bookings, listings, rates, all of that important info across everywhere you list your site or list your rental. So that includes third-party booking platforms like Airbnb and Vrbo, as well as your direct booking site. And then that brings me to the last feature and the feature that's most relevant for our conversation today, and that's the website builder. So if you don't have a website for your property yet, you can use our website builder to create one. I've tried it out myself. I can promise it's super easy. You don't need to be a software developer or have any expertise there to get a website up and running. And then the other side of that is if you already have a website, but it doesn't have the functionality to accept direct bookings, you can use our booking widget to enable that functionality. And in this case, it's just a quick copy and paste of some code from our tool to your website. So if you haven't tried us yet, you can try all of those features in our free 7-day trial. There's a button there at the bottom of your screen that says try Lodgify for free. If you give that a click, it'll take you right to where you can sign up for the free trial. Definitely recommend trying us if you haven't yet. And then last couple of things from me before we get started, I promise. Just want to share a couple more resources with you guys that you can take advantage of. We actually have coming up in a little over a month a free online event called the Independent Host Summit. We actually think this is going to be the biggest online event for independent hosts. So you can expect things like sessions from industry experts. We've got people from Airbnb, Price Labs, Booking.com, hands-on demos, sessions from some super successful hosts, lots of good stuff. Like I said, it's completely free to register. So I'm going to put the link in the chat for you guys to do that. And then we also recently released our summer 2025 report. This is looking specifically at the US short-term rental industry. And if you download it, you can get some info like the top 10 most booked destinations of the summer, year-over-year trends for some important metrics like ADR or occupancy, a preview of upcoming market trends. So we're going to give you a look at what the rest of the year is looking like so far. And then, of course, actionable tips to help you make the most of all of that. So this is also free, and I'll also put the link for you all in the chat. And yeah, I will hand it over to Mark. I do see a question in the chat of whether this is for people who already are using Lodgify. This is for all vacation rental hosts. So everyone here should be able to take advantage of these tips.
Yeah, no, it's really, really exciting. And yeah, what date is the Lodgify event on again? Was it the 11th of November?
November 12th.
November 12th. Yeah, definitely make sure you get on to that because that is always a good one. I tuned in last year and I learn a lot and I've been doing this for a long time. So really, really good. All right, everybody. I'm very, very excited for this. I just need for you all to do me a massive favor. Crowdcast is an amazing platform, but sometimes it has a little bit of bugs. And it says that I can only see one person that is live in the chat with us now. So I need for you, if you are with us live, can you please just type the letter L in the chat? Because I want to know who's with us. And I want to know where you are tuning in from as well. Because I can see we've got Grant, we've got a few people. But in the chat, if you just type the letter L for me, and I'll be able to gather how many people that we've got on with us while I go ahead and share my screen. So the window I want is this one. Okay. Now, hopefully we should all be seeing this this screen, the one that says your website is broken. Fantastic. Okay, so if you've all typed the letter L for me, so I know that you're live, that'd be fantastic. And let's get started, shall we? Okay, so your website is broken and here's how to fix it. I mean, obviously when we put a title on for a webinar like we have done, it's going to get a bit of attention. And when we talk about websites, this is one that always piques people's interest because it is a massively important part of your booking channel. But before we go through that, and obviously there's going to be a ton of people who want the audits. We're definitely going to get to that in a second. Let's talk to why this is really important. So at the start of this year in 2025, Airbnb has announced, Brian Chesky has announced that he wants Airbnb to become the Amazon of travel. Okay. Now, the reason why this is bad for you is that if you have ever dealt with Amazon in the past, you will know that Amazon now is a massive, massive channel. It takes a ton of commission off people, and it pretty much runs the e-commerce world and definitely the book industry. And I'll talk about that in a second. Now, Airbnb is a really fascinating story. In 2017, 15% of all bookings that were in the industry were made via Airbnb. Now, in 2024, that number has gone from 15% all the way up to 62%. So 62% of all bookings were made via Airbnb. Now, what that shows to me and what that shows to the industry is that Airbnb have gone from being this plucky startup to being the biggest provider of short-term rentals in the industry. They've not only caught up with Booking.com and the Expedia group who power Vrbo, but they've overtaken them. So when Brian Chesky and when Airbnb are saying that they want to become the Amazon of travel, this really does pique my attention. And again, just to bring it back to Amazon. So in 2022, I released this book. It was called The Book Direct Playbook. If you have read the playbook, just please leave a playbook in the chat. It's always good to know who's reading it. It has sold over 150,000 copies over the last nearly 4 years now, which is insane. And when I released this book, I didn't have a chance to sell this thing directly. I had to put it on Amazon because I don't have a printing press behind me. I have a 3-year-old bedroom. So when I had to release this, I had to put it on Amazon. And just to give a context, whenever I sell a book on Amazon, for every dollar that I make on Amazon, Amazon takes 66 cents. So that's a
Crazy.
66% commission that they take for every dollar that I make. And they do that because they are the market leaders. There is no other really big alternative. They are dominant in this industry. And also, as well, when I sell a book, I don't get the name, I don't get the phone number, I don't get the email address, I get no data. All that happens is every 3 months, I get money put into my bank account. Now, I look at the Amazon and I look at Airbnb, booking.com, and I really look at Airbnb, and everything that has happened this year is like proving my point that if Airbnb become as big as Amazon, that is really bad for this industry.
Yeah.
Let's just have a little recap of what has happened this year in the world of Airbnb. Number one, they've announced that they're putting the fees up. So the 3% flat fee is going, and it's going to be everybody's going to pay a 15.5% fee. That's number one. Number two, they've announced temporary telephone numbers. So when a guest books, they are going to be testing temporary telephone numbers where the guest will get, you will get, sorry, a temporary telephone number of the guest. And when that guest checks out, it will delete, it will remove. They've amended more policies. They've made it harder for the host. They've made it easier for the guest. And this has all happened in the last 5 months. And this is why it's bad for you, is that if we continue to do nothing, if we continue to let Airbnb as dominant as they are, what is to turn around and stop them from going, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Airbnb host, we feel like this relationship isn't right. We feel that the commission level should be 20%. We feel like the commission level actually should be 25%. We feel like it should be 30%, 40%, 50%. Because again, what is stopping them from doing that? If they continue on this trajectory of being so dominant on the industry, then my worry is that we won't have the ability to decide our own fate. And if you've ever heard me talk, Julie, you've read the playbook. The first thing that I say in the book, pretty much on page 3, is never build your house on someone else's land, right?
Mm-hmm.
And listen, I totally get this, right? We are very fortunate in this industry of hospitality, but we can start a business today. We can go and list our business, take a couple of pictures on our iPhone, list our business on booking.com, Vrbo, Airbnb, and depending on the time and the market, pretty much be guaranteed to get bookings coming in. That's a blessing. The curse is that because it is so easy and because there's no other industry like it, right? When I put my book on Amazon, I wasn't guaranteed to get bookings. I was I still had to market it myself. But in the hospitality world, we get that. And because it is so easy, we become complacent and we become lazy. And then the problem is, but what happens when those bookings stop? What happens if your listing becomes invisible for a number of reasons? It could just had a couple of bad reviews and it drops off the first page of search. It could be that a guest complains and your listing could get suspended. There's loads of reasons why. And unfortunately, I get these stories every single day in my inbox of this happening. So this is why I come and talk to you. And this is the chart that I would like for you to look on the screen. There's 3 levels of risk. So number 1, low risk. And please pay attention to this because I'm going to get you to type. My webinars and my presentations, I love them to be as interactive as possible. So low risk is less than 35% of your bookings are coming from an OTA. This means you've got a strong brand, repeat guests, flexible pricing. You've got medium risk, which is 35 to 75% reliant on the OTAs, which means you do have a direct strategy in place, but it is vulnerable. And then you've got the high risk. The high risk is 75% of your bookings are coming from online travel agents, Airbnb, booking.com, Vrbo. That means you've got a high OTA dependence. You've got no direct channel, no guest data, no control. Okay, so what I would love for you to do in the chat, and there's no right or wrong answer on this in any way, shape, or form, but I would love for you to type in, are you low risk, medium risk, or high risk? So just put low, medium, or high. My worry, without even me looking at the results, is that the majority of the people in this room, and we're going to have 500 people have registered. I reckon we've got close to 100 people in with us. My worry is that 85% of the room or higher are in the high risk. And this is why it's really important. My goal, my mission is to help all of you get to 35% OTA bookings, 65% direct. And I'll talk to you later about why that number is important. Now, we've got 45 minutes and we are going to go for a lot. What I'm going to show you is packed with actionable advice that all of you can do within 30 minutes of this webinar. I'm going to show you how to spot the three things that are currently killing your conversions. So what is currently stopping turning a looker into a booker? I'm going to show you how you can fix it within 20 minutes. I'm going to give you the exact Boostly framework that we do every single day. And I'm going to show you how you can get 5 times more bookings without spending a penny on ads. So you don't have to spend any money on Facebook, any money on Instagram, any money on Google ads, which is pretty cool. Now, if that sounds good, if that sounds like you were going to get a lot from this, all I need for you to do in the chat is just type the letter W. Just type the letter W if this sounds like a win of a webinar. You're glad that you gave up your time on your Tuesday to attend this session. Now, as we've mentioned at the start, and as we've mentioned in the mail outs, we will do an audit of a website. Now, all I need for you to do, if you want me to audit your website, is drop the link in the chat in the next minute. A lot of you have done, a lot of you haven't. If you'd like for me to look at your website and show you a few things, then I will do that. I can't get through all of you, but we'll get through as many as we can. And also as well, I recommend that you go onto Instagram. So go onto Instagram as soon as you can while I'm chatting, whether it's on your phone or somewhere else, and go and follow the Boostly Instagram account. It's BOOSTLY UK, Boostly UK, Instagram.com. I'll pop it in the chat, Boostly UK. The reason why will be very clear later on. Right. Now, the next thing, a little bit about me. I've mentioned a quick bit at the start, but I had a family business called The Granary. At the time of our exit, it was 80% direct bookings. The reason why we were able to attract so much money and we were able to get so much value for our property was a main reason was because we had a high level of direct bookings. 2016, I started Boostly. It's short for Boost Hospitality. And over the last years, we've worked with over 2,000 hosts. Our websites have tracked and generated over $250 million in direct bookings. It works worldwide. It works, doesn't matter what your niche. For those of you that are based out of America, we have got a website and are making an impact in 49 out of the 50 states in the USA. The only one where we haven't got a website is North Dakota, but a lot of people keep telling me there's nothing in North Dakota. So if you know somebody there, please let me know. On average, our clients see an average return of investment of 50 times their ROI, which is really cool. And we're the only people in the industry who put our money where our mouths are, and we guarantee you a full money back guarantee. And like I said, my mission is to help you to get to 65% direct bookings. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. How is this going to work? How am I going to get somebody on my website when Airbnb, Booking.com, the rest spend millions, if not billions, in advertising? And this is the stat that should give you the confidence. And this is the stat that stopped me in my tracks. I heard this from Bart from AutoRank, which is a really cool optimization site for your listings on Airbnb. But he said that 65% of guests who book direct, as in book on your websites, they start their search on an online travel agent. Basically, they start their search on Airbnb, they start their search on Vrbo, they start their search on Booking.com. And then if you are doing the right things on your listing, which we will go into, and you are doing it correctly, they start on there but then they come and find you on your direct booking site. Now, the reason why that they are doing that is that in 2025 slash going into 2026, your guests, your future potential guests, are smart. They're very smart. There was a really big TikTok trend last year where these content creators were posting short reels and short TikToks explaining how they can get a better rate than booking on Airbnb when they book direct. And they showed their audience how to do a search on Google, how to find the website, and how to approach the actual hosts on of these properties to get a better booking and get a better price. And with that, it sparked a huge movement. There was millions of views of these videos. There was a Google Chrome extension. Let me see if I do this very quickly. It's called Directo. So that it's called Get Directo. It's a Google Chrome extension that I think over 300,000 people have downloaded. And when it sits on your Google Chrome, it shows the guest when they land on an Airbnb listing if it's cheaper to book direct, which is a really cool tool. It's got a lot of popularity. But the overriding message of this is that your guest is getting smarter. They aren't just going to Airbnb and booking blindly. They are starting to search. Now, the problem is this. If you're sat there going, but Mark, 65% of people are booking direct on the back of a search on an OTA, but my website isn't. Well, this is the fact. Conversion rates are terrible. The average vacation rental website converts at 0.4 to 0.6%. So that's basically for every 1,000 people that hit your site, only 4 to 6 book. And that's not good enough. And there are specific reasons why. Number one, confusing navigation, easy for me to say. Number two, poor booking experience. Number three is terrible mobile user experience. So UX is user experience. And that is what we're going to crack today. Now, your guests, our guests, the people that are booking our stay, they want an experience that is simple as 1, 2, 3. This is the guest journey. Okay. A big mistake that I see when people are designing their websites is that they try and create a website that is the Mona Lisa of websites. They try and make it look as stunning as possible with graphics and videos and flashing arts and yada, yada, yada. But in reality, all your guest wants is a simple booking process. They want the homepage, the listing, the checkout. And unfortunately, like I said, we get a high user abandonment. So that means guests, future potential guests, leave your website because of a poor user experience. And that's what we're going to go into today. Another thing, the reason why the conversion rate is so low is your website page speed. So in simple terms is when they click on your link to load your website, how fast from click to load does it take? And this stat is really fascinating to me. For every 1 second delay in the page load, it results in a 20% drop in conversion. Now, there's a really simple way to track this. If you go into a Google search and do Google page website load speed, it will bring up with a website that Google have created called page speed. You can put your domain in and it will tell you how long it takes for your website to load. In 2025, the human mind can only hold concentration for less than 4 seconds. It might be less than 3. So basically means that we've got less of attention span now than a goldfish, which is pretty mental. But what that means is for you is that if your website is taking more than 4 seconds to load, your chance of even getting a guest to stick around to go check out your listing is dropping by 20% for every second. So what's really, really important here is speed plus simplicity plus instant booking equals more revenue. And, you know, we've seen websites come to Boostly, work with Boostly, which we have a live integration in with Lodgify, for example, and we've got a live sync happening. And just by doing this one simple fix, it speeds up the website and it increases the chance of a conversion. Now, we're going to go and look at some websites in a minute, 100%. But here is what some of the top hosts do differently. Like, I've had a very fortunate position over the last 10 years to be able to look at hundreds, if not thousands, of direct booking websites. And the reason why these hosts are the top hosts, the reason why their websites convert 5 times better than the industry average is because they do these things. So number one, remove distractions from the homepage. So we're going to come into a few examples, but basically when your website loads, so we call it in the industry above the fold. So the moment that your website loads, the first thing that the guest sees, what do they see? Do they see loads of text? Do they see loads of options? Do they see loads of menus? Do they see loads of things to click? Or do they just see a very simple, nice big image with a check in, check out, how many people, go and search? Less is more. That's what the thing that I would really want to get across. Less is more. And as they scroll down your website, do they see big block of text? Do they see paragraph after paragraph, or do they see bullet points and emojis? This is the thing that I really want for all of you to try and get into your mindset now, is less is more. Another big thing that the people that are winning are doing is they've got a very clear book now button. There's a really good book called Storybrand, and the author is a guy called Donald Miller. And his book is all about telling a story within your business. It's all about how to get customers to book and to give you money. One of the parts of the book talks about the grunt test. And the grunt test is basically, if you're in a cafe, or let's say you were talking to a caveman, right? You just met a caveman. Caveman has blasted from the past into the future. He's in front of you. You should be able to show that caveman your business, your website, and he should be able to grunt to know how to tell you who you are, what you do, and how they can give you money. Now, a lot of websites can easily tell the consumer who they are. A lot of people can tell them what they do, but they fall down on the most important part, which is, how do I actually book with you? How can I actually give you money? So having a very clear book now button, and we're going to go through a few examples, is a massive thing that so many people get wrong. They have it as the same color as all of the menu options. So it's basically hidden. It's in camouflage, which you don't want that to happen. You want it to be nice and clear and stand out. And we're going to go through that. And a little bit of the secret sauce, and I did say that I was going to share with you the Boostly secret sauce, is that if you can put on your website, on the homepage of your website, 5 FAQs, so frequently asked questions, add them to your website. It is doing a lot of good work there. Number one, if a guest has got a question, you can answer it in the FAQ. Number two, it has an SEO benefit as well. Without getting too technical, the way that Google and the first page of Google is really adapting is now what they're looking to do for the user is to answer the question without even getting the user to go to the website. It's called rich snippets. And an FAQ is one of the most simple hack ways of getting your website read for this. And again, I don't want to get too technical. I'll show you what it means. But for the first matter of fact is that it helps answer the guest question. Because when a guest comes to your website, they have questions. Okay, they've got lots of questions. And the more that you can answer it on that website with a clear FAQ, the better it is for you. Now, there's an extra thing here on what does the top 1% do. So the top 1%, they add live chat to their website and they add the 5-star reviews. Now, this is really important. Now, there was a survey done by one of the big publications where they interviewed 15,000 travelers. And part of that survey, they asked during the guest booking process, if you had a question about the stay, would you like to speak to somebody? 77% of people said yes. Now, Airbnb doesn't have live chat. Expedia doesn't have live chat. Booking.com doesn't have live chat. This is where you, as the small independent host and owner, has a massive advantage because you can put live chat onto your website. Now, we put them on all of our Boostly websites, and I'll show you what it looks like in a second. For those of you that don't like being online all the time, there are some really cool AI tools that are being made available that can help answer these questions for you. But having live chat is a really cool way of doing it. You can back that up by having a very simple phone number where a guest can call, whether it's speaking to you directly as the host, or if you've got a team member who can help you with that, that is also a big win. But live chat is key. And the other one is reviews. And the reason being is 93% of all purchases are on the back of social proof. And reviews are one of the easiest ways to do that. Now, there is a lot of tools out there that will go and grab your reviews on Airbnb, Booking.com, Vrbo, Facebook, etc., Google listing, and put it onto your website. I'll show what that looks like in a second. And the cool thing about these tools is that they will only put on your 5-star reviews, which again is really cool. And I'll show you what that looks like as well. Okay, we're getting close to go and looking at some of these websites. Excuse me. If you would like me to audit your website, please drop the link in the chat below. Before we do, let me go and show you the formula that Boostly uses. So I'm just going to open up this and I'm going to come on in and I'm going to grab you the framework. So this is the framework. You should be able to see it now of our website. So this is the framework that we do for all of our websites. Obviously, when people work with us, they can customize it to shape their vibe and their colors and their logos, etc. But this is the framework that we use for every single one of our sites. The reason why we have the same framework is because it works. It's generated hundreds of millions of dollars in direct bookings. We have modeled this over some of the best in the industry, and we know it works. So why try and fix it if it isn't broken? And as you can see, when the website loads up, this is what's called above the fold, and it is so clean. So in the top here, if for those of you that are up to date with Airbnb, you'll notice that now they're pushing homes, experiences, and services. We've matched that with homes, experiences, and services because, again, we are modeling the language that Airbnb are using. So we know that now the guests are used to experiences and services. So I'll walk you through what that looks like in a second. On the website itself, nice, big, clear image. This is a video. And we've got the tagline, your perfect getaway rates, with a little subline, arrival, departure, guests, and search. You'll notice in the bottom right-hand corner is that live chat that I told you about. And this is what the perfect above the fold looks like. As you scroll down the website, we then go on to a bit about the business. So why us? Number 2, we showcase the properties or the property. So again, we showcase the homes, the properties. We then feature why us. So again, pay attention, not massive blocks of text. We use emojis and the things that are really unique to you, really unique to the host. And that could be anything, and that's really is bespoke to you. Then we've got a section on meeting the host. The reason why this is important is that we are the locals. We are the people. People love to buy from people. We do not want to hide behind corporate logos. This is, again, reason why people will book with local hosts is because they want to tap into their local advice, their local knowledge. If you're not comfortable in front of camera, then get a nice team shot of you and your team on there, a little bit about you, because, again, people love this more than what you will ever know. This was the tool that I was talking about that we have and we use. This pulls in the latest 5-star reviews from the OTAs, and it only showcases those 5-star reviews. the way that you should structure your homepage is that you should have 80% of your whole website information on the homepage of the site. And as they are scrolling and reading it, it should look like a really good landing page. Every single time they scroll, it is answering all of the questions that that guest may have. And we finish with the FAQ. Again, simple questions that are added in, that's nice to read, easy to read, and it will tick off all the boxes. That book, The Story Brand by Donald Miller, what you will notice in the top here is that we only have 3 options and a very clear book now button. We obviously, on our websites, we have more than just those 4 pages, but we put them on what we call the junk drawer, basically the footer. So that means that we have things like management, services, blogs, but we don't litter and clutter the page at the top. We have them at the bottom. Now, experiences, that is very simple. That experience page showcases local experiences, and you will just add them in here. If you're working with a provider that already gives you those local experiences, and I'll show you what it looks like in a second on an actual site, you can have it in here. If you're not, if you haven't got anything, there's tools like Viator, which are super simple, Viator. You can work with them. A guest can click on a link, book a tour on Viator, and you will get commission from it, which is great. Services, again, we partner up with Why Hungry, which is a private chef service based in the UK and now the USA. Guests can book private chefs at your property and you get commission for it, which, again, if you've ever heard of Airbnb services, you will know one of the reasons why a lot of people don't like it is because the guests can book private chefs and everything at your property, but you don't get any commission. You're taking all the risk and none of the benefit. That is the framework that we use, and this is it in action. Okay, now this is Cameron Ranch Glamping. They are a Lodgify customer. They're based out of Texas, and we put together their website for them. So this is what it looks like in like the real world scenario. Again, homes, experiences, services. They've got really nice, clear imagery here. Luxury glamping and cabins near Houston and Austin, Texas. Very simple on how to book. A bit about the business, showcasing the properties. We've got the amenities, again, with emojis instead of big blocky text. What we offer, the amazing reviews. We can add in about Instagram because Garrett is a really big Instagrammer. We've got the FAQs. And what you will notice at the bottom here, he's got his live chat. Now, his live chat is powered by AI, which is really cool. But as you can see here, all the way throughout, we're talking about all of the things that are unique and bespoke to him. So this is the structure of the sites, and this is how we do it. Now, before we go on and go and do the audits, what I would like is just to very quickly walk you through and just explain to you exactly how Boostly members are able to 5 times the conversion rate compared to the industry average. And then what we will do is we will do some audits, because I can see that there are a lot in there and I'm excited to get stuck in. So like I said, the majority of the rental websites that are out there, they convert at 0.5%. And we've explained why. And I'll show you why in a second. Ours convert at 2.2%, which is 5 times more potential bookings. The reason why it works is that for the core principle is that we are the experts in website design. I'm so happy and proud to be able to say that we power the most websites in the industry. We're making the most impact because we obsess over every single tiny detail. You as hospitality owners, you don't have that luxury. And again, this is nothing against your websites. This is nothing against the Lodgify sites. I think out of all the PMS options, they're one of the best ones, but DIY doesn't work. You know, you can easily spend $300 now, go on Fiverr, get someone to do it for you from India or Pakistan, but you'll lose $30,000 later. And I've just seen it time and time and time again over the last 10 years of doing this. If you buy cheap, you buy twice. So why waste hours trying to figure this all out when you can literally follow our blueprint? Now, I did mention, I did want to have a freebie for everybody that tuned in live today. And I did mention at the start to make sure you go onto Instagram and follow at Boostly UK. Now, if you're following at Boostly UK, I want to give you a copy of the book that I was mentioning, the blueprint book. Sorry, it's Boostly UK. All you need to do is go and DM me the word blueprint. Go onto Instagram, go to Boostly UK. You will see it because it looks like this. If I go Instagram.com and the handle, you'll have my face there. Just send me a message, hit the follow button, send me a message, say the word blueprint, one word only, blueprint. And I'll make sure later on I'll send you a copy of the book, which has the exact framework that I've just spoken to you about there, so you can try and do it yourself. Now, I've spoken about that. Now, this is the ecosystem. Now, the reason why this works isn't just about the website, because as we've established, anybody can put a website together for you. You can literally go and get a website. Someone can, you can pay them a couple $100, you'll get a website, but that's part of it. The reason why we're able to get such good results is the whole ecosystem that we plug you into when you join Boostly. So number one is the website. Number two is the academy. So we have tutorial videos that shows you how to get people from Airbnb to your website. Again, 65% of all direct bookings are on the back of an OTA, being on an OTA first. We show you how to do this. And we also combine that with email marketing tools, social media marketing tools, and as well, we have your very own AI assistant that will help do all of that for you with a CRM. So basically, a CRM is a fancy word for email and social media marketing. Also, as well, we have twice a week group coaching calls, similar to this, but we're in a Zoom room and we talk about everything. We do Q&A, we do coaching calls, etc. And on the back of that, because of the tools, the tactics, the training, we give you the confidence and we give you the results. Now, if any of this sounds good, then, and if you are somebody that is on this sheet now, who understands that consistency is the key to growth, who wants to grow their business, who is an action taker, who doesn't believe in get rich quick schemes, who doesn't want to just rely on Airbnb anymore, then we would love to hear from you. We have worked and we continue to work with people all over the world. Sergio, based out of the US, Rose, based out of the US, Seth, based out of the US. We've got loads and loads and loads of case studies. And this is why we vow to give you all the tools, the tactics, and the training to be at least 65% direct. I want everybody to get into that low risk category. The thing that I showed you earlier, that's my vow. I guarantee you that whatever money you pay to join Boostly, you will recoup that. And if not, after 365 days, I'll give you all your money back and I'll give you $200 on top for wasting your time. The good news is, over 10 years of doing this, working with thousands of hosts, I've only had to give one person back the money. And if any of this sounds good at all, and you would like to speak to us, please go ahead and use that link, boostly.co.uk/October. It will take you to our website where you can book a call with our team. We will have a 30 to 45-minute conversation with you. We'll go through all of your business. We'll show you what we can do. And if you would like to join, if we think you're going to be a good fit for us, as long as you, number one, book a call in the next 30 hours of this webinar, you'll get a 30% discount on our one-time fee to join. But you have to mention this webinar as well, so our team know. I've given the team the heads up. I've said to the team at Lodgify, I'd love to do something for everybody that's tuned into this to help as many people as possible. But you've got to go to boostly.co.uk/October and make sure you mention the Lodgify. And I'll give you that link as well, if any of this sounds good. Right. Let's do a couple of light roastings, shall we? So a couple of audits. I have clicked on a link from when we were talking before, and I'm going to bring it up now. If you would like for me to do yours, and after I've done this one, and we've got time, I think we will have time, I will do that as well. Just make sure that you comment your link below. All right, now, can we all see this? This is called the Kingswood. Now, I'm going to audit this, and I will go on the Q&A because I can see there's 6 questions being left in the Q&A, and I'll go through them. Now, as much as I am going to audit this, from everything that I have shared with you, I would love for you to help me audit this as well. Now, first question is, who is the owner of this site? I clicked on it ages ago. Let me see if I can see at the bottom here. I know they're in the room because they're one of us that were with us. But anyway, what I would love for you to do is to just comment below, based on everything that I have told you in this session, what do you think is the first thing that is wrong with the site? Well, number one, I will tell you, is when the page loads up, and this is above the fold, there is a lot of information. My eyes and my brain is going crazy because there's just so much for me to see. Number one, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, drop down 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 menu options for me to click on. So number one, if this is your site, you want to get rid of all of this. And like I said, 80% of your website needs to be on the home page of here. You don't need a separate page to explain to the guest why to book direct. You don't need a separate page to explain to the guest about you. You've got to assume that when the guest is on your website, that whenever they click a link, it's going to take more than 3 seconds to load. And when it takes more than 3 seconds to load, you're going to use them. Remember, if they have a bad user experience, they bounce. So number one, and if I just go back and show you the example of Garrett, which is you've kind of got the same vibe here, forestry, etc. 1, 2, 3, right? The book now button at the top, 1, 2, 3. Everything else here, put it in the junk drawer, the footer, which is at the bottom. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, you want to very quickly with this talk to your ideal guest. So luxury private cabin, hot tub and mountain views, Golden, BC, which I think is British Columbia. So again, that's very good. Luxury glamping and cabins near Houston and Austin, Texas. Unplug, reset, reconnect, designer cabins, geodomes across, etc., etc. So that is good. Number two, is it very clear on how to book? Yes. But again, this is what is above the fold. Now, instantly, this block of text here goes missing. You want to be able to separate it out. I do love a good video, but you should have that where it's auto playing on your site. So then they don't have to hit play to auto it. This bit here, chef's kitchen, open concept, restful bedroom, spa-like bathroom, it just looks lost. Again, instead of having big blocks of text and all of these random images, instead, what you can have is, if we go down here, amenities like this. So it could be emoji, little bit of writing. So why have all of these scrolls when you can tell it with emojis and a little bit of block text? Again, this just looks like one listing that is in British Columbia. Once they do the book now, it will take them to the listing page. So you don't need to have all of this information. I feel like you have got the foundations of a stunning direct booking site. I just feel like the way that it is presented is really messy. And again, if you confuse your future potential guest, you lose and they will bounce and they will go elsewhere. You do get a little tick because you've got the 5-star reviews coming in. That's brilliant. You get a bad mark because you've got a link here that is sending people to your Airbnb listing. So you have done all of the hard work getting people onto your site, but at an opportunity here, you are sending people back to your Airbnb listing. As soon as they bounce, as soon as they go off your site, they're never coming back. So please, at never any point on your website, give them an excuse to go back to Airbnb. Okay, that's the first one. Before we go and we audit the next site, let me just go through a couple of quick questions. And Michelle, thank you. I can see that you are answering as well. Can you talk about the best practices to drive traffic, not from OTAs to sites? Also, how to drive traffic? That is a fantastic question. We actually covered that whole session on the first session I did with Lodgify. That session, I believe, was around about January, February. You can go back and look in Crowdcast and it will show you that session, but I show you exactly how to take somebody from Airbnb to Google to your website.
I'll put the link in the chat for you all so you can access it more
Thank you.
easily.
So the next question is, what is the review app? Well, there's a couple. We use one that's called Elf's Light. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but it's ELFSIGHT. That is a tool that you can then plug in your Airbnb reviews, booking.com reviews, etc., put it onto your site. There's another one that's called Reviews, which is REVYOOS. They're all cool as well. And I realize I'm putting them in as questions and not in the chat. So let me type that in here. Elf site. There are a couple of those ones. All right. Helgi, here's a 5-star rating from a Happy Boostly customer and Lodgify customer. That is amazing. Thank you very much. All right. I think we've got another site that has been added in. So let me go and bring this in. Again, whoever's site that first one was, and apologies, I didn't make a note of the name. I should have done. That's on me. But thank you very much. It's not easy putting your name forward and getting audited. So well done for that. Okay, we've got the next site up. Okay, we're all along the same line of thinking now. And again, in the chat, I would like for you to let me know what you think I'm going to say in this audit. Now, again, one of the things that is really, really, really obvious to me, and it's one of the things that I talked about with the StoryBrand book, is that when a website loads, you've got 3 seconds to tell your future potential guest who you are, what you do, how they can book and give you money. And remember what I said about that book now button? It needs to be really clear and obvious. On this site, I could argue, we could all argue, the book now button is very camouflaged right now. And the text and the font is a little bit all over the place. Do not try and get creative with your font. You are not writing a social media image here. It is got to be crystal clear. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a bit of flex in a W, but we can't be having all of these flashy things going on here. It's just got to be a really simple font that you can read. Also, another little hack. Don't ask me why, but for some reason, when a website loads, the human eye always goes to the top right-hand corner of the website. This is why when you go to Amazon, when you go to all these e-commerce sites, the shopping button, the cart button is always in the top right-hand corner. That is where your book now button has to go. Now, the terminology, you could put check availability, yada, 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 but the click to action button always has to go in the top right. I can see what you're trying to do with this. You're trying to be a little bit clever and put all of these things in here because this is called the hamburger menu, but this is doing you more harm than good. So again, I can see what you're doing, but this doesn't go there. You want to have a book now button. If you can, and I think you can because this is a Lodgify site and we know we can do this, in this top bit here, have homes, experiences, services, book now. I love the logo, Casablanca Waco. It's a lovely word to say, and it obviously very clear in what you do. Your oasis in the heart of Texas. I want to say means nothing, right? That's not to be harsh, but the oasis in the heart of Texas, I can see what you're trying to do, but you've got to assume that the person who's coming to this site hasn't got a clue what that means. Now, I do like this top rated, my gosh, hard for me to say, top rated Waco stay near Baylor University and Mongolia silos. That is cool. That is telling something that the above picture won't be able to tell. Going back to the pictures, it is so important that the first thing that you show off here is your top pictures, right? That is not your top picture, right? If we're being brutally honest here, that is not your top picture. That is not your top picture. No, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. These to me These are your top pictures where it shows the outside, it shows lots of chairs, it shows community, it shows that you sleep a lot of people. These to me are not the ones. So be really crystal clear on the first pictures that you show your future potential guest. Again, if they have a poor user experience, they will bounce and they will never come back. Again, I know this is a single property. I know that you will turn around and go, Mark, websites aren't my strong point. But this is literally like my 10-year-old has just thrown together a couple of pictures and a couple of words on a website. Again, if you want the framework and if you want the blueprint, DM me the word blueprint on Instagram. I'll show you how to make those changes to it, or just rewatch this. Again, you can definitely do this. Nice big image like we're showing here. Clear book now button, which you can easily do. Have a little block of about the business, about the property. Doesn't have to be the properties, property. Again, amenities, what we offer, amazing reviews, Instagram, FAQ, yada yada. Off we go. Again, it really is simple to do. Or just go to boostly.co.uk/October, book a call in with us, and we'll see if we can do it for you. Again, this is something that again we can make some little tweaks and it'll have a massive difference on this. Let me just go back very quickly and have a look at the questions. There's no new questions in from what I can see. So how does the extension work? So I'm not going to do a big session on the extension, to be perfectly honest. I think again, just go along to the website. It pretty much speaks for itself, but it shows people how to go from Airbnb to your site. It is a cool tool, and you can get listed on there as well for not a lot of money. I think very cheap. All right, let me have a look. Okay, so this is your last chance. If you would like for me to audit your site, we've got a chance for one more audit. I'm going to do it. Well, you need to put your URL in the next, let's say, minute. Now, before we go any further, Michelle, was there any questions that you noticed? Anything that I haven't covered? Anything you'd just like to add to it? Anything that we just like quickly touch upon before we do the final one?
I do see one question here from Mackenzie Lalav, who says she's wondering if the AI assistant you mentioned is a third-party widget. Lots of questions about the widget.
Oh, the widget. So the widget is basically, so the CRM that we use, it attaches to the widget. And the widget, when a guest asks a question, it goes into the CRM and you'll be able to communicate and chat with a guest there. Let me just quickly show you what it is. I wasn't planning on doing it, but as I was talking, I realized that I wasn't explaining it very well. So let me show you what it looks like. I'll go into this one here. Actually, no, I'll go into, because I know we did this today. So this is one of our clients, and every single Boostly member has a CRM. Okay, so when a conversation is done via here, so that's the chat there, it goes into the conversations tab of your CRM, and when a guest is chatting with you, the host, you can chat back. Now, the cool thing about this conversation tab is that it's on the desktop, but it's also a mobile app. Also, as well, you can have all of your communications come into here. So you can link up your Instagram DMs, you can link up your Facebook DMs, you can link up Google business listing DMs, and they all sync into here. So you can have all your conversations stored. You can have access to it. Your VAs can have access to it. So it's all in here, which is really cool, and it all sits in. Another thing that I mentioned was the email marketing. So we have got email marketing campaigns and templates set up that you can just literally turn on, and once you've turned it on, it will automatically, once you give it the prompt, send emails to your list that you've got of the if you're collecting guest database, which is huge. And again, I spoke about that on the previous one. And it can do so much more. There's workflows, reputation, which is the thing that we spoke about with the reviews. You even get access to my AI assistant, so you can ask it personal questions. It can give it advice. We've got 365 days of content, all of that good stuff. So that is what the CRM thing that I mentioned there. Okay. Now, let me do one quick final one. Now, before we do the final quick one, this is let me just go back to this site. Now, this site is integrated and it syncs in with Lodgify. All of our websites that we have, we sync in for our integration into Lodgify. So the booking process is super smooth. It works as easy as 1, 2, 3. And this is one of the reasons why our conversions is so high, is because we have that integration. Most people, when they have a WordPress website, they don't have the luxury of doing that. We do that for you. And again, I think that's one of the reasons why it's high. Right. I've got a domain. I've gone and clicked on it, and I'm going to come into it here. We're going from British Columbia, we're going from Texas, and we're coming over to Amsterdam. We're going to finish in Europe because I thought it'd be only fair to finish in Europe. Okay. So again, a Lodgify site. Now, there are a couple of good things. Number one, we've got a nice big button here in the top right-hand corner, which is super cool. Number two, we have a very clear thing here, but that's about it. I also like this 5% discount if a guest books direct. Now, there's a right way and a wrong way to present this offer to your future potential guest. This is the right way. It was a pop-up after 30 seconds, and it sits there nicely in the bottom corner. It doesn't sit there as a stain on the site, as what this does like here. It literally hurts my eyes to look at this. So there are definite ways to present this. A nice pop-up 30 seconds after the page is loaded, presenting a 10% discount if you book direct, is a lot better than having something like this. Number two, book your houseboat stay now. Now, there's a really cool tool that I absolutely love that is free to use, and it is probably one of the best free tools that is out there, and it's called ChatGPT. You may have heard of it. It's been a thing. Now, I absolutely love ChatGPT because it helps me with copy. It helps me with words. And I can see here you're struggling with words. So what I'm going to do is I've just hit copy and A and copy and C, and I've copied all of the content on your site. I'm going to come in and I'm going to paste it into ChatGPT, and I'm going to say, please, can you read this? Do nothing. So all I'm asking it to do is to read the copy that I've given it. So it said, got it. I've read everything and I won't take any action. Now I want for you to help me craft a tagline for my website. What it's going to do is it's going to read everything and it's going to give me a title for my website. Now, before it's going to do that, it's going to ask me 3 smart questions. Number 1, what's the main goal of the website? Number 2, who's your ideal guest? Number 3, what kind of feeling do you promise the tagline to give? I can go back and I can chat to this and it will come and give me the best answer possible. For speed, I'm just going to say, just do it. And it's going to do it for me. I'm a little bit rude. I will say please next time to my little AI friend here. But now what it's done is it's gone and given me 10 different taglines for the houseboat. Live like a local, float like a dream. Sleep on water, wake in wonder. Your Amsterdam story starts afloat. How much better do those taglines sound compared to book your houseboat stay now? So please, everybody, and this is not just for the Amsterdam houseboat. For every site that I have showed you today, I think every single one could have done with a little bit of help from ChatGPT. Take advantage of this amazing free tool that is available to everybody. Now, again, we look at the busyness. There's too many menu buttons here. Again, simple is best. Less is more. And again, as I'm scrolling down here, if you can see on the site, the left-hand side and the right-hand side, there's loads of space. It's like you've just done a, you know, on a Google Doc or a micro doc where you can place where you want the text. It's like you've gone center and just gone straight down the middle. And again, it's lots of words. It's nothing to nobody. I mean, this is a cool little thing to have, but again, I would much rather you have those 5-star reviews better than that. I'd rather you have FAQ. So again, Nothing against you. I mean, I would love for you to get a higher conversion rate, but I can totally understand why this maybe not be performing as it should do. Right. That is all the time that I have to roast. Now, I will end with this. If I didn't get a chance to roast your website or audit your website today, and you would like for me to roast your website later, all you need to do, go onto Instagram, Boostly UK, send me a message, just one word, roast. Every single week on my Instagram, I roast the marketing of 2 businesses a week. And if I didn't get a chance to do it today, I'll definitely try and get to it on a future week. But all you need to do is DM me the word roast on Boostly UK on the Instagram. And the final thing I will say before we wrap this up, and again, thank you so much for letting me do this, is if any of this sounds like you want to have a chat with us, if you're thinking my website is nowhere near where I need it to be, I want it to get better conversions, I want to get to 65% direct, I want to get CRMs and all those things, and I want Boostly just to build this all for me, go to boostly.co.uk/October. Now, it will take you to this page. On there, it will say schedule a call. You click on there, it comes into here, select where you are in the world. And we've opened up a load of slots for today. So you can literally speak to somebody tomorrow. So we've got 3 slots available tomorrow. We've got 2 on Thursday, 3 on Friday. And as long as you book a call in the next 30 hours, even if your call is next week, but as long as you book it in the next 30 hours, and as long as you mention this webinar, we will make sure that you qualify for our 30% discount off our one-time fee, and you will get all of the benefits that I've spoken to today. So again, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for letting me do this, Mikkel, and I really hope that you've all got something from it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Mark. This has been really, really interesting and so cool to see these live audits. So appreciate you being here.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
All right. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.